What's going on, guys? Live TCG here. You know what time it is. It's auctions of the week again, and today we got plenty of vintage, plenty of modern, and make sure you stay to the very end because we have some crazy absolute bangers and some black labels, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys like these types of videos, definitely make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. So let's get right into it. All right, first on the list today, we have the Umbreon VMAX in a PSA 10 selling for $2,294. This card is definitely coming down just a little bit. This card was about $1,200 a year ago and it hit almost $3,000, but now the market's kind of cooling down and this is selling for $2,200. And next up, continuing with the modern, we have the Giratina V from Lost Origin in a PSA 10, also selling for $1,450. Next up, we have some ponchos in PSA 10. We have the Magikarp from 2015, and this one right now is selling for $4,100. And we also have the Charizard Poncho Pikachu in a PSA 10 selling for $5,650 right now. And next up, the most valuable of all of the Scream promos in a PSA 10 copy is going to be the Pikachu, right now selling for a staggering $4,000. I remember when these cards were super cheap, wanted to pick them up, never did, and now it's way too late for me to get them. If you guys like the Scream cards, let me know down below if you do own any or if you were lucky enough to get any back in the day. And next up, we got some vintage, but sometimes the grades just don't matter because right here we have a PSA 3 Lugia Crystal, and right now that's sold for $900. So sometimes people just want the card, and you can't have the Lugia Crystal without the Ho-Ho Crystal, both in a PSA 3 as well. And this one's selling for $750, just a little bit under Lugia. And next up, we have the Raikou Gold Star in a PSA 10, one of my favorites. Had all three of these in 9s at some point. Definitely gonna get them again. And right now, this is selling for $1,800 in a 10. I think that's a pretty good deal if you ask me, to be completely honest, in this market. Will they continue to go up? I'm not really sure, but $1,800 for the Raikou Gold Star. And next up, a card I probably can't pronounce, but we have Solgaleo and Lunala GX PSA 10 selling for $1,089. Probably one of the most valuable tag team cards there is in a PSA 10 copy. And we're definitely going to check out a few more tag teams right after this too. And next is the Marshadow and Machamp GX in a PSA 10 copy, selling for $394. And next up, we have the Eevee and Snorlax GX in a PSA 10, super cute in my opinion, selling for $515. And if you ask me right now, the tag team cards are still undervalued, besides maybe the one or two that are at the absolute moon right now, because those are super expensive and most people can't afford them. So I do think that the lower tag team GXs are still a great buy, especially in raw copies, because usually the PSA 10s are like a 5 to 10x premium of these cards most of the time, to be honest. So if you do find some tag team cards in good condition, I would definitely pick them up. Next up in the tag teams, we have the Magikarp and Wailord in a PSA 10, a little bit of older cert in the 5s now. Weird to say that's old, but right now that's selling for $1,302 for the Magikarp and Wailord. We got one more tag team left. And last but not least, we have the Gengar and Mimikyu GX in a PSA 10, selling for $2,075, one of the hardest looking tag teams out there. And next up, we have an Evolving Skies booster pack graded in a PSA 10, selling for $189. That's a lot higher than I thought it would be. I also do like these new PSA pack cases because they don't fold over and crinkle the wrappers anymore, and it kind of just displays the whole entire art, which I like a lot. So Evolving Skies, $189 for a seal pack. Would you guys pay that price, or would you go get a whole art set for the same price but not graded? And the time you've all been waiting for, we're at that part of the video where we go over the bangers of the week, and these ones are super heavy right now. So first up on the heavy hitters list, we have the Latios GX tag team in a BGS 10 pristine black label, selling for $15,080. This is absolutely mind-blowing. One of the most beautiful cards of all time, the best in the whole Sun and Moon era, hands down, period. Selling for $15,000. I can't believe it, guys. This in a PSA 10 right now, I believe it's like $4,000 maybe. So that's a 4, 8, 12, 6, that's a 4x premium. Had to do that on my hand. That is absolutely crazy. What do you guys think of this? Is this way too much, or do you think this is properly valued for a BGS 10? And next up, we have a card that you guys may have never seen before. We have the Pokemon Topps Lugia Movie 2000 first appearance in a CGC 9.5. I was lucky enough to see a few of these at Collecticon over the years, but I believe this is the highest graded one that's ever existed. And right now in a 9.5, it's going for $9,988 plus eBay tax. So do you guys think that this card is worth $10,000? I'm not a big fan of the top stuff, but I'm sure there's some collectors out there that want the highest grade possible. Next up, even more black labels, guys. We have the Poncho Pikachu Charizard, as you saw before, only a few $1,000, but now it's $15,099 for a black label Charizard Poncho Pikachu. These ponchos, keep seeing them on the vendor POV videos. They're absolutely out of hand right now. You got to be loaded to afford one of these. And the final card of the night, and the most expensive card of the night, we have a Rayquaza Gold Star in a CGC 10, selling for an eye-watering $22,466. It's not every day that you get to see one of these come through an auction, especially in a 10. Finding a Rayquaza Gold Star in anything higher than a 6 to a 7 starts to get super pricey, so I can see why somebody is willing to pay the absolute premium on this. I'm not really sure what they normally go for, but right now in a 10, you got a Rayquaza Gold Star for $22,466. And if you guys like today's video, definitely make sure you drop a sub down below, like, and comment, because every single week we go over all the auctions of the week, all Pokemon news, and anything going on in the Pokemon market. And again, thank you guys for watching today's video. Very much appreciated.